Hi, back again. This is actually recorded about 5 minutes after my Sarah and Aperture videos. Apparently, my roommate has not heard the magical words of 30H, so I'm rectifying this. Uh, Here we go!
Can I have a pony for Christmas?
No ponies!
Oh.
I think he's still recovering from the stroke, so. Anyways. Dobby relished his groin-saw's roar as he withdrew the flesh-choked blade from the astronaut's ruined skull. He turned to Harry, thrusting his bloody, retina-covered pelvis with elven fervor. "How does Ronnie Ron taste, Master?" Harry spat out an eyeball, like some kid with eyes. Dobby ducked an astronaut's poison-barbed fist, digging his groin saw into the beast's abdomen and letting the spray of viscera wash over his elven space armor. The skull's eye sockets on his shoulders grew brilliant with an infernal cast and vomited a bolt of light through an astronaut. He was thrown back against the death wall, his flesh boiling in another dimension. Harry slapped Dobby, who giggled. Harry reminded himself to kill himself later. "Master, look out!" Dobby's groin saw screamed as it flew off the armor, rocketing through the air like an early dream of mankind. It flew through 3 astronauts, who dropped their hell spears as the saw cut a hole in the ground beneath them, so they fell to hell, and the demon spheres rape them to this day, boys and girls. End of chapter 1.
Holy shit.
This story's awesome! Chapter 2. Oh, by the way, my favorite part. Rated T. Language, English. Genre, angst romance between Bellatrix Lestrange and Seamus whatever his name is. Now, Dobby. Dobby knelt before his master. Harry withdrew his guitar, Fuckslayer, from a dimension where all screamed for naught. Wrought from the silver heart of heaven's false promise, laced with vessels that pulsed with angels' menstrual blood, hewn from the horns of Satan's generals, it laughed as it was let loose, a laugh that only Harry could hear, but no one could share. Harry swung the guitar through Dobby's chicken neck. He took the head off his fallen dwarf slave and tore open his stomach, stuffing the head inside. Harry vomited steam and summoned a great meteor from space to smash into Hogwarts and kill everyone there, for no reason at all. A vision then appeared. It was Dumbledore, entombed in his cursed mummy armor, calling Harry from his moon base, which wasn't on a moon. "Harry, you must rock the fuck out." Harry channeled his rage through Fuckslayer, the angel blood boiling as he summoned the great meteor. Swathed with the blood of the tiny fucklings at Hogwarts, leapt onto it, and flew into space. He encased the entire meteor in a wreath of holy fuckfire and flew through Mercury, killing the fuck out of it. Then he sent Mercury's carcass into Venus, killing the fuck out of it and making every vagina in the galaxy explode. Inside every vagina, a booby sang of mortal life fleeting precipice. Harry then did fly his meteor through space, punching astral vampires in half with his fist encased in fuckfire, and throwing their ruined heads into the past where they bit cavemen on Mars, so that history changed. Now there are vampire cavemen on Mars. Harry received another vision from Fumblegore, who was having tea and crumpets with the president of Pangea. "Care to have tea, Harry? You know I hate crumpets." End of chapter 2. God, I love this story.
Where in the hell does this guy get his drugs?
I don't know, but I want some.
Oh, God!
Harry slammed his book shut. It wasn't really a book, because the papers were made of lasers, and the words were made of headless women making godless love to dragons made out of motorcycles. But it was still reading. "Gumbledorp, if you don't stop, we'll starve, and no one will be around to kill everyone in the universe if we get around to bringing everyone back to life after we killed them." Explain to me how that one works. "I am no longer Scrumblegort." The ancient man dropped some of the planets he was juggling. "The worlds have shifted. I am Dumblecop of the Dark Meal." He flexed one of his legs, which was made of pistols, and kicked a planet in half. "Bugger your dark mealed fagart of 1,000 suns." Dumblecop sniffled. "And what of it? Is it a sin? Should a man feel like fagarting a sun or 1,000? Why should the suns heave through the void, if not be skewered by porn iron?" I'm not even saying that word. I don't think it's English. Harry cast a glance at the book. Unsavory sounds emanated from a particularly damned chapter. He was hungry. He looked at a nearby cup. It had faded brown filth on the bottom. He thought about crumpets. End of chapter 3.
Oh, you know, I don't think I've ever recovered from a series of strokes so quickly.
I know, it's amazing. Chapter.
You know what? We've just discovered something. This book is a massive advancement in the medical procedure. We should sell it. We should steal it and then sell it to hospitals and get fucking rich. Then we might be able to find some of the acid this guy did.
Chapter 4. Harry had found some food. It was guarded by 3,000,000 surf ninjas, for it was the last food on Surf Ninja Moon number 10. The ecology had been decimated by surf ninjas, so the last food was a cabbage and mustard sandwich. Harry squatted in the ruins of the castle, which had many skulls arranged to resemble one large one. It had been poorly done, with the cheeks fading into an amateurish executed jawline. The silent killers of the night had negated their inert advantage by only plying their craft on surfboards during the day. Harry was about to eat his cabbage witch when a man in a tuxedo appeared from behind nothing much. He stood 10 feet tall, and his head seemed wrapped in an unwrappable darkness. "I am Rape Radbury. I write critically acclaimed fiction that always turns into fact. That's why I have more money than anyone." Harry dug a bit of cartilage out of his cabbage witch and continued chewing. "Would you care to discuss one of my books? I hear that my..." Harry fished out another bit of cartilage. It was a cartilage and mustard sandwich. "You shouldn't believe what everyone says about me. I took a shower with my cousin once, and I have racist thoughts." A niblet of yellow cartilage landed on Rape's shoe. He thought about his cousin. End of chapter 4. I've gone cross-eyed. Chapter 5. The shortest chapter of our 7-chapter phenomenon. The Inquisitors were torturing Harry. First, Ignitus used the rock. Then Billy asked Harry if he wanted to read his BDSM blog. Harry was so surprised that his pants flew right off. He was wearing women's underpants. The Inquisitors were wearing them too. They realized that they were all men of the Lord. End of chapter 5.
Fuck Harry Potter. This shit is brilliant.
I know! And we're not even to the best chapter. This is the best chapter. Yes, Paul! Harry awoke to the throaty grumble of a rape ape. Not a rape ape, but the rape ape. The last of his kind after the subjugation of the rape forest. His people once graced the canopy, their penile digits proudly grasping the vines as they swung through the night. Their hundreds of sweaty simian dongs trailing a now fetid memory in the rape ape's watering eye. As his ocular ducts began to well with his ancestral pride, so too did the countless meaty members sprouted from the rape ape's every hairy inch, from his eye sockets, ear holes, even his callous toes, a penile font of cry juice birthed a deluge. Harry observed this with contentment, as he was tied to a table. Neither magic nor supracosmic strength could free him from his bonds. Had this creature access to an unknown material of desitic strength, or did the rape ape have a secret yet more baffling? Harry squinted so he could see the subatomic strings of the ropes. He began tossing antimatter at them with his mind as a group of children entered the rape ape's hiding place. They were well groomed and immaculately attired, and there were 5.8 of them, just enough to represent an array of genders and races that would leave no one unhappy, save for the Eskimos. They were on their own as far as the rape ape was concerned. "Why do you cry, Rape Ape?" asked Child 3.2. The Rape Ape, unwilling to hide its greasy primate cock tears, hung its head, and gravity coaxed the eye wangers downward. It tied them together into a bow atop its head to be pretty for its guests. "We are bound in its ligature of lingam, brother Rape Ape," said Child 4.6. The children surrounded Rape Ape, holding their hands, and began to sing. Harry was transfixed as he watched the children, gently swaying with the song, float skyward. The little ones began to orbit the Rape Ape, who was convulsing as though stricken by the seizure devil. As the song increased in tempo, the childish bubbling and merged into a spinning wonder turbine. The fleshy kid mass sprouted hair and groin drills, just like the Rape Ape, and sprayed confetti into skies of past and future, settling the constellations aflame with the opulence of perished Rape Apes. An explosion of color and hair left Harry alone and still bound. He thought about sandwiches. End of chapter 6.
Setzer, is that you in there? Or am I just dreaming?
Okay, one chapter left.
One more? No, there cannot be only one more chapter left. There has to be more. There has to be more.
Harry awoke in a pit that reeked of hot sauce. He could feel viscous fluid under his fingernails, burning the tender skin. Everywhere were white bags bulging with foul product. They were diapers stuffed with chicken bones and hot sauce, their foul odor blossoming in the muffled dark. Harry's nostrils begged his brain for mercy. He flew upwards, away from the saucy mystery below. The smell grew faint, calling him to return. Harry ignored their lies, flying beyond the lips of his prison. He was in a laboratory with machines that had no purpose beyond blinking lights and soft hums. "Hello, my boy son. You make a father so good." Harry had flown out of the nose of an old man. The man wore a white coat, yet was drawn by the hand of an idiot. His voice came not from his mouth, but from elsewhere, a sad attempt at humanity. "I know you'll do so well. Now you choose." The man reached into his coat and laid out 3 diapers, each brimming with the spicy bones of the nose prison. He removed his head and stuck it on a spike on the counter, to keep it from rolling away. The diapers began to stir as creatures clawed out of the bony wombs. Arrayed before Harry was a turtle, the reptilian body so frail that it seemed an afterthought to the shell. A bald weasel with toothpicks for legs, and a wrinkled thumb in a glass of water. The old man's head called out from the spike. "Everyone has one. Make your best friends for life." Harry drank the glass of thumb water and spat the thumb at the old man's head. The end. And that's 30H. Any thoughts?
The fuck?